Hello friends, we are going to start our new story, The Treasure Within. Let us start before you reach some points. Every child has a prosperity achieving and his different form of other children in her or his style of learning in a area of interest. Reading of interviews that follow. It was based on and conversations between Mr. Balaraj. We will call him BR, editor of Spin, a new newsletter from the resource center, the Valley School, Bangalore, and Mr. Herfazing counseling one of India's learning achievement. We will call him at C. Let us start part one. There are also some points. Oh, HC was an unhappy schoolboy. He loved doing things but detested machinery learning. Mathematics gave him the silvers. What his principal once says to him influenced him deeply. Let us start the drama. It is a drama. Let us start. As he says, I used to have this terrible nightmare. Only now. Over the last 4 to 5 years, it seems to have disappointed. BR says, what nightmare are you talking about? And why do you think it is has disappointed now? As he says, I used to get continued nightmaring about appearance from a maths examination when I did not know anything. Now that physical must be getting over it. I did not have to think about education, and there is uh, absolution, absolutions, no time to get nightmare. BS says, tell me something about your earlier memories in school. HC says, in the first and second year, I was a good student. After I reached the third standard, I simply lost interest and I never studied. I used to be interested in game, running around and playing jokes and pranks on others. I would copy in class during exam time. I would try to get hold of examinations paper that he had been prepared and study it, as I could not remember things that had been taught to me in class. However, later, one safe spoken to me by my principal changed my life. When uh, prepare my uh, when I prepare my 11th standard, the principal called me and says, "Look here, son. I have been seeing you from day one. You are a good student, but you never study. I had to take care of you till today. Now I can no longer take care of you, so you do it yourself." He told me to for 5 minutes. You do not have your father. Your mother has worked so hard to bring you up and paid all your fees all this year. But you have only played games. Now you should rise to the ocean and studies. I used to be a very good sportsman. I had been the senior camping from so many years. I also was the cricket captain. I used to play every game, but that year I did not stop out into the field. I would go for playing and all around to do was eating and studying. I normally used to copy and pass. But I realized that once I was in SSC, I could not do that. When I got a second class, 50 percentage in my SSC, my principal said, son, concentrate yourself as having got distractions. This is my memory of my school days. I did lots of things, other things. So, as far as many things are considered, I cannot remember. I forgot things very easily. to remember. I have to see things a photographer. I read books and I can remember the matter as a photographer, but not whose my mind. That is how it works. Bia says, when you were in school and you were doing badly, did the teacher pull you up and how did you feel? As he says, I never feel anything on being pulled up. I used to be so interested in playing. I would recover as a canning every week. Bia says, when you know that you have hard include that verdict of your teacher by not doing your homework or buying behaving badly. When you know you would not get a canneling, canneling, what would the status of your mind? As he said, status of mind, just laugh up the head and they would can up. It would hurt badly, and then I would have to forget about it because I would want to go and play. Bia says, you never feel insur- insults or threatened. threatened. H says, I was just threatened in playing and nothing else. I was most interested in fun pranks. One day, I did not want to study, so I created distraction. For one whole hour, we play chore police every Saturday. We were allowed to go into the see a movie. So what I would to do when have no lunch and collection money from 40 to 50 students and run and buy the tickets. Once my way back, I would eat to my heart's constraint. I used to be the leader of the gang. We would have a gang fight and play straight. Those things used to interested in me more than my any achievements. Studying used to be books, my textbooks, for the following year because they were almost brand new. I probably opened them one day before exam. Let us start part two. There are some points. He's stabling on achievement because he know little France and less Germany. He would often beat in the pranks that he play on others. When he find him calling, those was no looking back. Let us start. Bia, how did you get into the field of uh, architecture? HC says. In the college for architecture, nobody who had got below 80 to 85 percentage was allowed to enter. I had only 50 percentage. I want to join the army. I got my admission later, but my aunt told it up. Then I decided that I want to join the police force. My mother says, "Do not join the police force. Just do your graduation." So I went to Jaihan College in Bombay. Then I was to either take France or Germany. Though I had studied France for 7 years, I did not know 7 words of France, so I took Germany. Then my German teacher died. The college told me that I could change the college or take France. Now, who would give me the admission in another college? I had to admission in Jehan by influence. So I thought, okay, I will take France, and I started learning France again. I learned it from my courses. So, sorry, she was an architecture wife. I was going to an architecture office to learn France. Dia says, was it then that you decided you want to do the architecture? H says, actually, it is all happen quick by chance. In the architecture office, I saw somebody drawing a window details, and a window details is a very advanced drawing. I told him that I told him that his drawing was wrong. That the window had he had drawn would not open. He 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 then had a bet with me and let him found it in the his drawing was wrong. My co's husband was surprised. He asked me to drawing a few special things. I imagined and did. He asked me to dress a house and I dress a house. After that, he told me to drop everything and join architecture. We went to the principal of the college. We went to meet the principal of the college. The principal warning me, I will allow you to take part in the entrance exam, but if you do not do well, I will not allow you to join. I got an A plus in the external exam, and from that day it was a cakewalk. I had never made a plan, but I know about something look like from the top. I had never know what a secret was, but I know if you cut a plan, but if it would look like. I struck first class first through after that. I believe that all this I believe that all this understanding came from what I used to play and do during school. I had a friend called Mama Devi, the Desan. We used to have competition between us for designing forests, guns and ammunitions. Each of us would each of each of us would design something in effect to the difference. In school, when I was the second or third standard, one of my teacher, Mr. Gupta, saw my sketches and told me, see, you are useless in everything else, but your sketches are good. When you grown up, you become an architect. I did not know at that time, but she was right. Lately, I asked big. Lately, after I become an architect, I want to meet her and tell her. Bia says, why do you think you did not like study? Was it because you felt you could not cope or could not deal with the circumstance? X6. I was very bad at language. Science and geography I could deal with. Maths was very bad. I was not interested. I was studying for the sake of studying. What they taught me today, I would forget after 2 days. I would not bother because I was no applications of mine there to begin with. BSA. Did you think that what they taught in school was boring, or did you feel that once you understand the concept of what being taught, you lost interested in rest of the lesson? Living in a boarding school is different. We were just living for days to days. Nowadays, there are so many tests. But then, whatever, we had tests we used to just copy. The teacher thought that was we had done our work. BR says there is a consolation that gratefulness and learning durations go hand in hand. Do you think this apply to you? As it says. Well, take some studies from my class. Those who allow stole first or second today during very ordinary job. Bia says, I have uh, come across this situation in so many different places where people tell me that their class top are doing very ordinary today. At HCCs in schools, I think living or lives there made us a street smart. I had learned more by doing what did on my own than by achieving would have taught me. Academic would have taught me. BSS. This is because that possibility and skills were there. You were able to find explanations in a material and would comfortable with and you define very rules so that nobody will stop you from doing what you need to do. As it says, I was more interested in other things. If, for example, while in class it started raining outside. I would think of the flowing water and how to build a dam to block it. I would be thinking about the flood of water with the dam and how much of water the dam would be able to hold. That was my interest of the day. When students lost a button while playing or fighting, they would come running to me and would cut a button for them for checking and using blade. Uh, Discipline in the school was very important, and no student would affect to have a button missing. The student would get a part day dining with a full neat uniform, and after that it did not matter. BS6. Coming to the present, how do you decided as to do what kind of structure you want to give a client? I look at the client face, his clothes, the way he talked and prosperous, the way he ate, and I would know that his stress was be like. I can relate it the people in the way that would be comfortable. I script very smoothly on a paper on the spot, and that paper I give to my people in the office. You, Bia says, you do it instantly. HC says, call it instant, call it architect, whatever. Now it's come to me like mathematics, putting dress, construction, physiologies, and socialisms together and making a sketch from all that. This is mathematics. Here we almost come to circles when Mr. Concert has decided his own interested of mathematics. Take it from your subject he hate to subject he know how dealing with. Thank you for the listening the story. We will start our new story. The open window. Let us start part one and let us start some points. Trembling Nintel has a bad now. He returned to the country of chaos and called on a family friend. The lady been buying upstairs. Her young niece refers to a family mischief with the force of the window. Let us start the story. My aunt will be done personally, Mr. Liston, said a very self-preservation young lady of 15 years. In the meantime, you must try and pull up with me. Fumbling Mr. Environmental to say something which should during floating to nice to the others. Moment without undesolation desires to the auntie that would the way to come. Privately, he doubt more than even whether they from visit for a succeed of the total strength would do some much towards helping the now cure which he was supposed to be undergoing. I know how it will be. Her sister had said when he was preparing to marry to this regular return. You will buy yourself down there and not speak to a loud soul, and you never will be wrong then even from moping. Shall just give you a letter of introduction to all the people I know there. Some of them, as far as I can remember, we quickly niced. For a prominent wood whether Mrs. Lepening, the lady who had was presenting one of the letter of introduction, came into the nice division. Do you know many of Do you know many of the people around here? Asked the nicely. When he judged that they had suffering silent communication communicate. Hardly a soul, save trembling. My sister was studying here some 14 year ago, and she gave me letter of introductions to some of those people here. He had the last statement in the tone of desperation regret. Then you know personally nothing about my aunt. A plus self-proclaimed young lady. Only her name and address admit that call. Here was the wondering whether Mr. Slapton was in the married or Windows state. Windows state missing. Unfortunately, something about the room setting to surgeon misbehaving. Her great thoughts happened just 3 years ago. She said the child. That would be the since your sister's time. He a throne asking fragment. How somehow in this restful country spot dragging some out of the place. You may would why we keep the window weird open on October afternoon. Said nicely. Individually, a large front window that opened onto the lake. It was a quiet walk for time of the year, said firmly, but he has the window got anything to do with the trending. Our thought that the window 3 years ago or two a day. Her husband and her two young brothers would have heard that today's shot. They never come back. Incoming dead moon of their festival shooting grounded would all the emergency in the teaching piece of the dog. It was has been that dreadful wet summer, and the place that was safe in the other year gave way suddenly without warning. Their body would never recover. That was the dreadful part of it. Here the child voice lost its self-prosecuting note and become flatly. Humans. Poor aunt. Always think that they will come back someday. They and the little bro sprinkling that would lose with them, and walk in the window just as they used to do. This is why the window is kept and open every evening till into the quiet dust. Poor dear aunt. She often to tell me how they were out. Her husband with his white waterproof coat over his arm and room. Her younger brother, silent, good, why do you bond? She has always did to test her because she said it is too on her nerves. Do you know something on still quite everything like this? I almost get a creeping feeling that they will all walk into through the window. Let us start part two. There are some points. Mr. Slapbrain come down at the last, and invitation come from her nicely story. Fragment tried to achieve his host with the nature of his elements. Through the open window, he can see things. He can see things. He can see things that would he never saw. Let us start the story. She broke off with a little swelling. I was refers to France when he the auntie blurting into the room when a while of apologizing for being late in making her appearance. I hope Vera has been moisturization use you. She said. She has been very interesting, said firmly. I hope you do not mind the open window, Mr. Sleeping Brain. My husband and brother will be home directly from shooting, and they would always come in this way. They have been out for sniping their mushrooms today. So they will make a fine mess over my poor bread. So like you mopping is not it. See rather than a cheerful about the shooting and scraping out of birds and prostrating of the dust of the window. Winter. The frequent it is all. Purely puring horrible. He made a dispiriting but only grateful successful effect to the turn his talk to the less gruffy topic. He was conciliating that his host was giving him only a fragment of her attention, and her eyes would constantly turning past to the window to the open window, and the law became town. It was the considering an unforgettable consideration that he should have paid his visit on this transaction anniversary. This does not agree in the ordinary me completely reset and abused about the meddling and avoiding of anything in the nature of wildlife and physical experience. The announcement fragmentations who live under the total vaping declaration that total strange and change aggregations are hunger from the last detail from one's employment and influence there is a cure and cure. On the matter of dying, they are not so much in agreement. He continued. No, no, said Mr. Weapon, in a voice which only replaces in your yen that last moment. Then she suddenly brought into the alarm again, but not the what Mr. Weffer saying. Here they are at least seekers, just in time for tea, and do not they look as if they would mount up to the eyes. Flapping shells shrinks and turn toward the nice with her look interesting so covers the comprehensions comprehensions. The children was starting out through the open window within desert horror in her eyes. In a child shock of nameless fear filtering so around in his wit and look into the same direction. In the defense twins, three fighters were walking across the low towards the window. They all carriers gang under their arm, and one of them was suddenly with the help of